Hi there, I'm Ben and welcome to part 14 of my full platinum walkthrough for Demon Souls on the PS5. Right, back to the Valley of Defilement, unfortunately. Swamp of Sorrow, 5-2, whatever you want to call it. That's where we're going next. Lots of poison, basically the original Blight Town, but not as bad, I would say. It's dark, but not as dark as it was on the original, so yes, let's get some things ready. Firstly, we want some healing items, just some of the lower ones, and most importantly, Noble's Lotus, which will get rid of the poison status effect once we get it. Although for most of it, we'll actually run around while being poisoned, because it's just quicker to heal, because we're going to get poisoned so often. It's just keep it going. Yeah. So here we are at the Leechmonger Archstone. That's where we fought Leechmonger a while back. And now we've got to go through this cave into the open swamp, and it's actually quite impressive when you see it on the PS5 because you can see into the distance properly. On the PS3 it used to be really dark and it was quite horrible actually. It's not as bad. In the previous episode I said that I was going to skip most of it. I've decided not to, but you can if you want. I'll let you know when you can skip sort of forward towards the end of towards the boss fight, and yeah, you can miss bits out. So there's the area. It's massive, or it looks massive. And we're just sort of skirting around the edges, really. We don't go into the swamp that much, save for the beginning, and then the second part. It's sort of split into two parts. We can't get to that bit you can see in the distance there straight away. We have to go through a fog gate first, because there is a barrier in the way. So remember this place to the right now. I'm not going to show it, but to the right-hand side there, there's a shortcut we're going to open up right at the end. Not an essential shortcut because we can use the save, backup save thing anyway, so it's not essential, but I will open it up for anybody who wants to know where it is. Yeah, so what we're going to do is go into the swamp. So this will poison you once you go in here. I'm going to show you, if you were wondering whether it's worth using the ring of poison resistance. It's not, really. It really isn't. I've swapped out the cling ring, so my health goes down anyway, and we want the ring of magical sharpness on so we can just kill things quickly. So it's just not worth it. It does give you a bit of resistance, obviously, but we're in poison for so long that it's just, yeah, just switch. So I went and got the Regenerator's ring then. We already have that ring, but for whatever reason, if you don't have it, that's where it is. We got it in 4-1, so the first part of Shrine of Storms, right way back when we did that. Yeah, we don't need that ring, but if you didn't have it for whatever reason, there it is. You're going to see a couple of others. We've got a few rings we're getting in here, some repeats. So these little shell things, yeah, they're not too bad. They're slow, but they can pack a punch if they get close. You can shoot them from a distance with magic. I'm just kind of showing you. Not all of them are alive. Some of them are sort of hollow and break when you walk through. Yeah, you see that one just broke as I shot through it. There, that one as you walk through it there. You can pretty much ignore these guys. They do drop Noble Lotus, which is helpful, but again, it's not essential. I'm just killing a few of them. You'll see some items like on there on the right hand side, and there's one over there on the left. They're just soul items. We're not going to go and bother getting them. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm not going to show the whole area, but I will show the important parts. So we're not going getting all items, just the stuff that we actually need. And yeah, that's what we're going to do in a moment. Yeah, can't roll in this stuff as well. That's another thing. There is actually a ring in this newer version, the PS5 version, called the Sodom Ring, which we will get. It's in 3-2, Tower of Latria, down in the swamp down there, which the swamp that's not poison. It allows you to run freely in the swamp because you cannot roll and you just sort of stuck to kind of running. You see this pace here, that's running. Yeah, we'll get it, but you do need pure black world tendency to get it. So yeah, we're not going to get it yet, but we do have to run back through here in New Game Plus, so we'll have it then. Yeah, and plus we've got to fight a red phantom down here as well, or black phantom should I say. So I'm skirting around the edges here, going to these islands, picking all these items up. the final item I'm going to pick up is actually a ring, the cat ring, that we do need. See, I just got poison then. Poison does wear off. It does take a while, and you can't actually see it on the screen anywhere. You don't know. You can see it in the top corner that you are poisoned, but it doesn't sort of have a countdown. So, yeah, it will wear off, but don't worry about curing it all the time. It does go down very slowly. I'm just waiting for this black phantom here because you don't want to try and fight it in the swamp. It's going to be worse. So I'm just going to wait here, wait for it to recognise me, come for me. Come on. There we go. Very easy fight. Don't worry about it being difficult. They just have the big... what is that? Cleaver? It's like the machete type thing, isn't it? You can hit it once with magic, but it's actually best to use sword and shield. Because they have a very slow attacks and they're very weak. Or she's very weak. There. Simple as that. We just want her out of the way because we want the ring that was behind her, that's all. Plus she does drop Faintstone, which we're not going to use, and Stone of Ephemeral Eyes, which we will use. Have more than enough by now, so don't worry. I'll run all the way over here. This is the ring, this is the cat ring, this is why we've come this way. Well, there's actually two reasons why we've come round this way. It's safer, for one, and the cat ring is here, which obviously we need as part of the trophy. So you see over there to the right hand side there are some giants, so I think they're called depraved, the guys in this area, the ones from before that we did in part 1. They hit hard. You don't want to be taking on the big guys. Just if you can avoid them, which is what we're doing. Got pure Suckerstone there. Again, we're not going to use it to upgrade anything, but it's there if anybody needs it. And then some Suckerstone Chunks. So you can see a big guy just on the hill there. We've basically done a big loop. You can either go straight forward through all those guys with the shells, those little shell things, or you can loop around like I've done, got the ring, and come in through the back. If you slowly walk up, this guy won't realise you're here, and you can get some free Nobles Lotus, which is helpful. And then once you've done that, just sneak onto this ramp and avoid him completely, and he shouldn't see you. It should be fine, and go through the fog gate. Yeah, we do have to take some of the big guys on, but any we can avoid we will do, because they hit hard and you can't roll, and it's just horrible. So drop off back into the poison. That's why I've not healed it yet. We're just going to run over here. This is the thief ring. We already have this probably twice already, definitely once. And we will come back to this exact point for an NPC later on in pure white and pure black. So we will be back here, and we will have the ring at that point. Flies in this area, not as bad as Dark Souls. They don't keep coming back. There's just a couple, and then a few later on. They're easily taken care of with fire spray, which is what we're going to use for the boss of this area. It's going to make it just so unbelievably easy. It's kind of not funny. But yeah, you should have it equipped anyway. I did mention it at the end of the last episode. Yeah, it's going to make it super easy. And it's good for these flies as well. It's like having a machine gun almost. It's really quite fun. It's good for the big guys. We've got 2 of the big guys coming up as well, so you're going to see it do some work. Plus it takes very, very small amount of MP, the blue bar. Hardly any when you use it, which is absolutely amazing. Because you can just equip the sword again and get it all back. That's a random drop. Marrow Stone. Don't worry, don't need it. Now you can see off in the distance there are some items over there. They're Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. We're going to ignore them. You can see them. Yeah, they've just popped in now. There's 3 giants. Yeah, no. If we need them, we'll come back. If you do need some for whatever reason, remember that they're there and come back. But yeah, 3 giants in the swamp. No thanks. We don't need them, so don't worry. Slugs. So remember this area because we will be back to this exact point. It's funny I actually say that because I completely forget and walk past it later on when I'm looking for it. We're going to drop loads of slugs down. Basically getting the moon... Well, it's not called the Moonlight Greatsword in this game, but the Moonlight Greatsword. I'm sure you've heard of it if you've played Dark Souls or even Bloodborne at this point. Yeah, we don't need it, but we can use it to trade for a ring, but we can get the ring the other way, another way. So here's two big guys. Switch to fire spray and just spray. Yeah, try and lock on from a distance as far away as possible, and then just keep backing up while firing. You need them running towards you ideally. If they're sort of running off to the edge, you can kind of stop because you won't hit them. And just keep walking backwards. They shouldn't hit you. If you just keep walking, they'll sort of stop to attack. So you should have more than enough time to back up and get out of range. And yeah, you can do that twice. There's two of them here and a poison guy. We want to divide and conquer, obviously, because we can't roll around. We can't get away. So same here. This one should run more towards you than the other one did. So just keep the spray open. Back up slowly. And if he stops, you stop. You can stop. Sometimes they do it. And then there we go. Definitely the easiest way to take these guys on. It's better than Soul Ray, actually, because it allows you to move better. And yeah, watch out for this poison guy. They will shoot out a poison cloud. You may notice there one of my Noble's Lotus that I've just picked up has gone back to my inventory. It's gone to Stockpile Thomas. That's what that little icon was next to it. Because I've got the maximum. I think it's 25 you can carry as the maximum, which I've just reached. So that poison guy can fire a poison cloud, which you're going to see on another one later on. So just get rid of them as quickly as possible. The controller will kind of vibrate, and it's a weird vibration when you're being poisoned. You will sort of feel it, but you'll also see the cloud as well. So 5 flies here, take these out. Right, this bit is not essential. We can get the ring that we get for trading in the Moonlight Greatsword a different way once we kill Saint Urbane during the Black Character Tendency event that we're doing. So this isn't essential, but if you want to just come, it's fairly quick what we're doing. Basically, we've got to cut down some slugs and go back to that area I mentioned where we saw the slugs before, pick the sword up. That's it. So if you want to do this bit, you can, but it's not essential. We will get the ring another way, just kind of a safety net, I suppose. Plus then you have the Moonlight Greatsword, which is cool. Well, I can't use it, but it's a decent weapon, decent looking at least. It's a faith and strength weapon, nowhere near what we are. So you may get the random Suckerstone from these guys. Be careful up here, obviously. Once you get to a certain height, you will die if you drop. So just be careful. I think there's actually another way down. I drop down a different way. I go back the same way we came. But I think you can actually drop down to the left where the item is, which I don't do. Mainly because I forgot. But yeah, I run back the other way. We're not missing anything majorly important down there anyway. So there's 2 slugs at the back, and then there's one that's on a lower platform with an item here. And there we go. So get rid of that and then pick up this, which is legendary. And then with this, if you're using the same sword as I am, don't use R1 because you can sometimes jump backwards. So I'm using R2 to cut this thing down. Just keep hitting it until it falls down. Lots of gross slugs. There we go. So it falls down. So I think if you actually turn around, you can drop down that way. It might be quicker. But it might drop you into the middle of the slugs as well. So I'm going to go the safer way and just go this way. Just again, be careful. Yeah, in the original PS3 version, it was so dark up here. Oh, well, this whole area, it was horrible. Much improved. So thank you, Blue Point. And I've dropped down. You can see the fog gate there that we just walked past. This is where the giants were. I'm going to run back along the safer route. I think I just get pointed just before I get on there, which is annoying. But I've got plenty of Noble's Lotus. If you do need any, you can buy some shortly from the old woman that we saw in 5.1. Depraved Chasm. So yeah, I've just run past it. I was not paying attention at all. So those slugs on the floor there is where I was supposed to stop. I don't know what I'm doing. I go way past it. I don't know. Anyway, we'll get back. I'll realise now, I think. Yeah, completely lost at this point. So don't worry about those items. They were kind of a shortcut bit that we missed out. We went through the swamp instead. Nothing special. Yeah, here we go. So, where the slugs are. There you go. Clever boy. Anyway, there are a lot of slugs here. We're talking 20, 25, maybe 30. There are lots here. So don't just go running in. You can try and pick a few off from a distance. But I'm actually going to draw them towards me and go round them rather than kill them all. I'll kill a few. But yeah, they will. They can kill you very quickly. One on their own is fine. You can just kind of circle around them. But lots of them will make short work. I don't know why that one didn't die. I don't know what's going on there. I must have been hitting a body or something, but I didn't think you'd do that. More coming down. So I'm using Ray trying to get through them because obviously it cuts through enemies, but it doesn't really do anything. Or it doesn't look like it is. Yeah, I'm out of magic. So I'm going to back up. Just let the vast majority of them follow me onto the safe land. And then I'm going to walk round once most of them are up here. There will be still some over there. You can see there's a few which we will need to kill. You can see how many there are. There's lots. I've already killed 5 or 6. So yeah, do be careful. They can make short work of you. And once you've got them far enough on, run round. And you don't have to be quick because obviously they're slugs. They will take a while. But yeah, there's still some in the water, so watch out. I can't lock onto this one right in front of me. It was putting me off. There's one right in front of me. Not this one, that one. I can't seem to lock. There he is. And there we go. Quick heal. And there it is, the large sword of Moonlight. Or the Moonlight Greatsword. Whichever. Suckerstone Chunk, that was the item from before. So that's everything. We can now move on through the fog and get towards the boss. The bit we've actually got to do now is kind of like a village of the depraved. It's not fun. You need to be on constant guard. You can die very quickly in this area. So sword and shield is best for this bit. So run back here is where the big guys were. Through here, you can see the old woman here. She will sell you things. I don't know if you'll remember, but I did mention a Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. It is the same one from 5.1, the same lady. She has a Stone of Ephemeral Eyes, and I said it would go up in price as your soul level went up. So you're going to see that now. She does actually sell some really good stuff. Moongrass, Noble's Lotus, Widow's Lotus, which is for Plague, Black Pine Resin, which you'll need if you're melee. There's the stone. It's now gone up to 20,000. Luckily, we don't need it. Yeah, so if you are melee, get some Black Pine Resin because you'll need to apply that to your weapon for the boss. But because we are magic, we don't need that. We got Flame Spray. And it's pretty amazing. Against this boss anyway. So yeah, more poison here. I'm taking it slow and you should as well. Because there's these guys, they hit surprisingly hard. It's not even funny. So yeah, sword and shield. Shield up at all times in here. And watch your back as well. They appear from literally nowhere, yeah. There's one here. There's 2 here even. I think there's one behind me. Yeah, you can see how hard they hit. I've just dropped my shield for a second. And it comes straight through. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. There was at least 5 there at one point. So yeah. Take time. Let them come to you. And watch for lock on. If you're able to lock on as well, there's going to be one around. Item here. Now you're going to see me get poison. I don't actually get poison, but the poison effect starts. So you can see it in the air in a moment. And you're going to see me run off. And that's what I'm doing. So kill those 2. Go around here. So you're going to see it when I pick. I think it's when I pick this item up. Yeah, you can see it in the air there. That sort of sparkle. That's a poison cloud. That's what those green auraed enemies shoot at you. So be aware you can get poisoned. If you get poisoned for no reason, that's what it is. Like I said, you can feel a vibration. It's very slight in the controller. And we're going to take him out from a distance. If you can see any at a distance like this, it's best just take them out. If you have the Crisp Blade out as well, it's obviously going to help. There we go, I just remembered. The more you can reduce these numbers, the more it's going to help. That's actually quite helpful. We're going to go and get this item down here in a minute. Yep, can't reach that one. Can't get through there. There you go. Right, so we're going to drop down, get this. It's actually poison arrow, rotten arrows, or poison arrows, essentially. Very helpful if you are able to use a bow and arrow, which we cannot, as the current build that we are. We cannot use, which is kind of a downside for the, not the boss of this area, but the archdemon, Maiden Astraea. We have to kill her without killing her protector, Garl Vinland. If you have a bow and arrow, you can do it really quickly. We're not able to use one, but we have flame spray. So we can blind fire and get her that way, which is what we'll be doing. But if you have the strength and dexterity to use a bow, then those rotten arrows can come in very helpful. The only person that sells them actually is the old lady that's behind us. Yeah, I thought you could jump up there. You can't. It's weird. It looks like you can because it's definitely the right height. So shield up. There's always, they're sort of tucked away in these huts as well. So do beware. Yeah, see them in the distance there. They're everywhere. So nice and slow. Do not rush through. There. Ah, they hit so hard. There is another poison one coming up. Nice. Always nice when they drop some noble. Right, you can see the poison guy up at the top here. So there are a few others running around as well. So you want to hit this guy with magic. Don't go near him. If he shoots a poison cloud, run away. Obviously being poisoned is not the end of the world, but it's just annoying to burn through a noble's lotus when you don't need to. He should drop some as well. No, Age Spice. Excellent. Even better. So in a minute, I'm actually going to go run off to the left-hand side and open up that shortcut from the very beginning that I mentioned. That, again, is not essential for you to do. So if you don't want to, you can skip ahead. I'll tell you in a minute when you can. Yeah, for whatever reason, if you want the shortcut open, you're able to run from the Archstone all the way to the boss. Then you don't have to go through the swamp at all. So it is very helpful. But we're going to use the save, backup save anyway, so you shouldn't need it. There is a crystal lizard, but again, we don't need what it's selling. So in a minute, we're going to go and do that now. That didn't make sense, but never mind. So the boss is off to the left. There's the fog gate just down there. We're going to continue this way. So if you want to skip forward 2 or 3 minutes, you can do. To when I'm stood in front of the boss fog. So I'm going to drop down here. This is where we got the poison guy from. So I'm going to drop down here and miss the ramp, which is annoying. This is where we came up, and now I'm going to hug this wall all the way down. There aren't too many enemies down here, so don't worry about that. But there are flies, which are annoying. The items we're just going to ignore. We don't want to go into the swamp again. So keep your shield up. I think there's just one of the depraved guys. There's the stone of ephemeral eyes that we saw before. With the giants, we're going to just forget about those. We don't need them right now. If you ever do need them, that's where there are some. Yeah, so what you can see, this sort of pushed me off. I did not do that move to the right then. So yeah, stick to the wall as close as you can here. It can sort of push you away. It's weird. It's how it used to do it on the PS3 as well. They've not kind of changed it. So yeah, make sure you're always pushing in. There's a guy here, so watch out for him. Make sure you're always pushing in to the wall as you're walking along the narrow parts. Because yeah, you don't want to fall off. Go around here. This is where the lizard is in a minute. A couple more depraved. I think they're called depraved. They definitely are. Crystal lizard is here. There. And then the shortcut is just beyond that, which we're going to have to kick down. So kick this down, and you can now run all the way from the archstone. Forget about that, we don't need it, it's okay. All the way back. So I'll just show you, this is where we drop down into the swamp, right at the beginning. That's where we drop down, that's where all the little shell guys are. We can now skip all of the swamp and just run all the way back here. If you need to, for whatever reason, we might actually use this shortcut for the NPC. So it's as long as it is broad, it doesn't really make much difference. You can run through the swamp quickly because we'll have the ring, or you can come this way and drop down into the swamp that way. Doesn't really make much difference. But if you don't want to use backup saves for whatever reason, you'll need this open. And next it's on to the fight itself, which is it's a weird fight, this one, because the enemy kind of has a gun, we kind of have a gun, and we're just going to go around in a circle shooting each other basically. The dirty Colossus. No special thing we need to fill for this one for an extra trophy. It's just straight up just kill the guy. Or not really a guy, you'll see. But yeah, I'm just going to go and do my backup save. There's nothing else here, so we're at the fog. So I advise you do the same, unless you want to do all of the that again. Shortcut's open now, so not too bad if you've done that. So I'm going to switch out to my sort of boss loadout, which is higher level grass and aged. Yeah, so I switch it and then I switch it again. Aged spice. I just realised that healing item didn't actually stick because I changed it again. So yeah, full moon grass. You shouldn't take any damage whatsoever from this guy. Fresh spice. And if you're melee, you're going to need some of that pine resin. So have that on hand as well. So top your magic up. You want flame spray, fire spray, whatever it's called. Get the crisp blade out. And here he is. And you're just strafing around him. Shooting. That's it. You can see what he's doing. He shoots as well. You're going to see it better in a moment. So you can see these sort of... They're flies that he's shooting at you. If they do get you, you can wait it out. You will take damage. Here we go, you see it there, the sort of flies. You don't actually need to roll, you can just strafe. Here we go. Just keep your distance and shoot him. Yeah, so with the flies you can wait it out and they will wear off, or you can run over to one of the fires you can see in the corners everywhere. Set yourself on fire and that will get rid of them as well. But you shouldn't take any damage and kill him like that. Really easy. Probably one of the easiest, especially if you are a mage like we are. Again, if you're not, you need some pine resin. Stick that on your blade and go in for the attack. Again, even then he's not that difficult, but just be aware. About the flies, go and set yourself on fire if you need to. And that's it. Very simple. So yeah, the next section after this is just a boss fight. It's just the archdemon like it has been in the past. No level per se. So it's very quick. But in the next video we'll do that, obviously in the next video, and then we'll do some of the white tendency events around. Pick some of the rings up, do some items. We're getting towards the end of this playthrough. We're going to be cleaning up all of the tendency events, and then it will be on to New Game Plus. I've got a couple of hours, few hours left. No, we've got to do 1.3 and 1.4 yet as well. But yeah, we're moving towards clean up, changing world tendency and character tendency. So yeah, usual clean up here. We're going to be dumping everything we don't need. The boss soul, most importantly. Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. I got 28. You should have roughly about that as well. More than we need. I think we need 25, maybe 20, if you can get away with it being human. 25 will definitely see you through for what we need to do. At this point, I'm just going to switch, just dump any duplicate rings so we can sort of keep up to date with what we actually have. So the gash one, we've got the poison one, plague one a couple of times, thief's ring there a couple of times, and that should be it. So at this point you should have 19 rings, like so, just 11 more to go. And that's it. So I'm just going to level up. I'm going to stick them both into magic. I'm going to go and kill myself as usual, pick up my souls, and then I'm going to show you the world tendency, which won't be full yet. Obviously we need to kill the archdemon for this area, Maiden Astraea. But yeah, have your flame spray ready, fire spray, whatever it's called, again, because we'll be using that. And pretty much that's it. If you're strength, you'll need a bow, but obviously I'll explain all about that at the beginning of the next video. So yeah, I'm going to go and kill myself. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.